I have made and lost 3 fortunes now. Unlucky and lucky, you could say. But if I would got started right now and I only had $1,000 to get my Amazon career reinvigorated, reignited, what would I do? What are the steps I would do? How would I get myself back up to multi-millionaire status? In this video, I'm going to show you. Now, if you like this kind of information where I'm helping you make more money online, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and that way I'll know that you want more content like this. Also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel because I post brand new information just like this, all about helping you make more money online. If you've got any questions for me or comments, or you just want to interact, comments below and I'll be sure to get that too. All right, let's get into it. The question is, if I only had $1,000 and I lost everything else, how would I get back into the Amazon game? What would I do with that $1,000? Okay, so I actually covered that on a webinar on Sunday, but let me kind of go through it for you. So for me, I believe now, if you're looking to succeed on Amazon and to really lower the risk on Amazon, there's a very, very simple way to do that. So let me outline it for you. What I would do is I would take $500 out of that $1,000 and I would find 5 to 10 products that I thought were very, very interesting. So I'd still do my research. Yeah, I'd still do my research. I'd still want to understand my marketplace. None of that changes. None of that changes. So but I'd come up with 5 to 10 good, solid product ideas that I was interested in. I'm like, yeah, that could work. That could work. Yep, that could work too. I'd come up with those. Okay. Then what I'd do, in Australia, I would find some wholesalers in Australia for those products. And I would approach them and I would get myself 8 to 10 units of each product. So depending on the cost, the unit cost, that would dictate how many of your ideas you could put to the test. But let's say there are $5 each. Well, 10 of them would be $50. So with $500, I can put 10 ideas to the test, okay? So I would get 10 different products from 10 wholesalers or from one wholesaler, depending on what it was. And then I would get to work. So I would take my own, to save money, I would take my own images. Now, I know how to take images. All I would need to find is a way to light my products really, really nicely. A light box, for instance, can be purchased on eBay for 20 or $30 in Australia. I'd get a tripod for my iPhone or my Android phone, get a tripod for that. Then I'd get my iPod or my Android phone or my iPhone, put a timer on it, and I'd use the light box to take some pictures of that. That's a very, very simple way to get really quite nice quality images, okay? And I just do front, back, sides of my thing, and then I do some images that talked about the benefits. You know, fairly simple in terms of what I was doing, but enough so that my customers could get a good understanding. And again, I need to understand my customers, okay? So I do that. So now I've got 10 products that I've wholesaled. I've got my images for each product, and now I'm going to take advantage of that Amazon honeymoon I told you about. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my products onto Amazon, and I'm going to use my images that I put together. Right, obviously I'm going to do a good job writing my title, make sure that all the back end of the Sell Essentials all filled out, do everything properly, but all that's free. Set everything up beautifully, properly. And that's all I'm going to do. And then I'm going to set them loose and see what happens. So no outside traffic, no outside traffic, no reviews either, no reviews either. I'm just going to set them loose and see what happens. So now I've got, in effect, I've got 10 tests that I'm running. I want to make it super, super easy to see what wins. And so I'm going to do exactly the same thing to all my product ideas, and I'm going to see what comes up and see what I win with. And you will find within that 10, between 1 and 3 of them, you'll make some good sales on. You'll sell your stock, for instance. The rest of them will be a very, very mixed bag. Some of them won't sell anything at all. Others you might just sell one of it. It'll be a total mixed bag, yeah? But what you've discovered is what sells, what will sell. And then I take that information, whichever one it was, and I get to work putting a private label product together, because private label is much more profitable. I'd get to work putting together a private label product based on my winning product. And then I'd do that, quote unquote, properly. I'd go more to town on it. I'd take all the money that I had and I'd get to work on a private label product for that. If I only had $1,000, that's what I would do. That's how I would approach that situation. I think that's probably the best way to do it. I would not use FBM. I would use FBA because it's actually cheaper for you. The postage costs are cheaper FBA than it is FBM. And you'll get as well a better boost in the search engine rankings by using FBA. So you give your products a greater likelihood of working. You cannot do this in America. I should make that clear. You can't do this in America. America's so competitive. But in Australia, you can still do that. It's still got things to it, okay? I'd send everything to FBA. I would use FBA. So I'd set up everything as I normally do. Everything what I taught you, I'd just set it up normally. There's nothing, the only thing that you don't have, which is a shame, is the ability to make changes to your question for you. The ability to make changes to differentiate your wholesale product. But if you had a wholesale product, question for you, how could you improve it? How could you make it more unique? What could you do? There's a couple of things. Bundle. Brilliant. You could bundle it. That's a super easy way to differentiate yourself in the marketplace. And then, of course, if you see that works, you put together your own private label bundle. And I should also say as well, I would carry on selling that wholesale product. Like I wouldn't stop. I would carry on selling that wholesale product too. If something's making you money, you'd be nuts to not carry on doing it. So I'd carry on doing it too. I'd just have my own private label one that I was working on, and I'd be selling the wholesale one too. Packaging, you could also alter your packaging. You could do that. But nice packaging you could do. You could offer, if you were going to do FBM, you could do a gift wrap service, for instance, a handwritten card. Could do something like that. So there's lots of interesting ways you can give yourself an advantage if you're prepared to put the hard yards in up front. Hope that helps. That's how I handle that. That was a video from my regular Monday night Q&A session with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. We are the fastest growing e-commerce community right here in Australia. Over 2,600 members from Australia and some other countries as well. We let some other folks in with sales of over $50 million on Amazon this year alone. If you'd like to find out more about what we do and indeed come and join us so you can learn too, then get yourself off to www.aussieonlineentrepreneurs.com.au. The link is in the description and I'll see you on the inside.